Hello and welcome to the newspaper front page review on New Trends Africa. Today, 2nd of July 2021, we begin with the Nation newspaper. Main story: DSS declares Igboho wanted after armed recovery in home raid. Rider: 2 killed during joint security raid on agitators Ibadan home. Afenifere, ARC, OPC condemn action. Police stay off Lagos. That story is on the cover page and continues inside the paper. Another story there above the masthead: federal government, we are going after IPOB leader Kanu's backers. He instigated killing of 60 in 4 months. Details on page 4. Lagos-bound ISWAP chief arrested in Ogun. Page 3 has details. Buhari projects 900 billion naira for subsidy in 2022. Page 5 has details. Illegal herder settlement found in Kwara. 30 drug suspects held. That you have below the masthead. And elsewhere, Senate, House split on fund for host communities. PIB passed 20 years after. That on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Let's now move on to New Telegraph newspaper. 13 years after, Senate passes PIB, slashes host communities trust funds to 3%. Federal government projects 900 billion naira fuel subsidy in 11.9 trillion naira 2022 budget. Confirms release of 973 billion naira for capital project in 2021 account. PIB will fast-track transparency in petroleum industry. Silver. Get details on pages 2 and 4 of New Telegraph newspaper. Another one: FG, we won't spare IPOP sponsors, collaborators. Says Kanu's interception most classic operation. Right Western diplomat highlights IPOB leader scenes. Adopt same arrest tactic to apprehend Miyetti Allah leaders. Otom. Get pages in the inside of the New Telegraph newspaper. Above the masthead: huge debt threatens Nigeria's foreign reserves. Let's move on to Daily Independent. Nnamdi Kanu's collaborators won't be spared, federal government vows. Says it's trailed IPOB leader for 2 years. Kanu orchestrated killing of 60 persons in 4 months. His trial must follow due process. Wike warns FG. Page 2 has details. At last, National Assembly passes PIB. Senate reps allots 3%, 5% to host communities. Demon behind non-passage finally defeated. Lawan, that's the president of the Senate, speaking there. Ekiti prophet bags life imprisonment for killing female member. Get details on page 8 of Daily Independent. Above the masthead: condemnations trail attack on Igboho's residence by soldiers. DSS. 7 people killed, wife, others taken away. That's sources speaking. We have returned to Abacha era. Afenifere. Attack to cow frustrate him. Gani Adams. Rowdy session at reps over report on Twitter ban. That story begins there and continues on the inside page. Some other stories: reps ask FG to halt privatization of Niger Delta Power Holding Company. Why Anambra APC may suffer Zamfara Rivers fate. Hot OK's Jude Okeke's Anambra APGA governorship primaries. Details on page number 5. Let's move on now to Daily Sun newspaper. Igboho opens up on attack. That's the main story. The Riders gives details of how 2 were killed. G-Wagon, Prado, furniture destroyed in deadly invasion. Cancels Lagos rally. Afenifere, Nigeria back to Abacha era. Abducted family members dropped in Ekiti. Its ploy to silence him. Gani Adams, Masob. Another story there: federal government reveals 2-year efforts leading to Kanu's arrest. But besides the masthead: NPC Act Amendment Bill draconian. Rep lawyers. APC desperate to curtail free speech. PDP saying that. Get details on page 27. On page 26 rather. On page 27 you find details of: will resist attempts to force one-party state on Nigerians. PDP governors. Senate passes PIB, disagrees with reps on percentage for host communities. Go after bandits, killer herdsmen like you did for Kano. PDP governors urge FG. IPOB leaders arrest insensitive, inconsequential to Biafra struggle. Masobi saying that. Page 7 has details. Ayade Matawale Umahi defected to cover up inadequacies. Wike saying that, and you have details on page 27. Now to the Punch newspaper. We killed 2 arrested 13 aides in Igboho's house raid, says DSS. The riders, attackers killed 5 persons, took away corpses, steal 3 million naira, female leaders shouting orders. 7 AK-47 rifles, 3 guns, 5,000 rounds of ammunition, charms recovered, services. Its attack on Yoruba, Adebanjo. Its injustice, federal government insensitive, says YCE. There you have a number of images there from the attack on Igboho's residence, as well as the parading of his aides picked up in the course of the raid. You also have some of those images on the other newspapers. Above the masthead, external reserves slide further, lost $905.5 million in June. CBN is saying that. States drive away mining investors with illegal levies, taxes. Oshima, the vice president, is saying that. Debt servicing gulped 1.8 trillion naira in 5 months, says FG. Oil experts list benefits of as National Assembly breaks 12-year gin. Passes PIB. That's also there. At the bottom of the paper there, Benin Republic detains, prosecutes Ogun activists for challenging land encroachment. Spiritual healing, Randy Prophet bags life imprisonment for barren woman's death. Kanu's arrest, lawyers Rights UK protests extradition, FG guns for collaborators. Alright, now to other newspapers. We have leadership this Friday. Each citizen planned 4.8 trillion naira borrowing. Each citizen may owe 217,000 naira by next year as Nigeria's debts hit 43.4 trillion naira. Details are on page 4 of Leadership newspaper. Federal government budgets 900 billion naira for fuel subsidy in 2022. Spends 973.13 naira, 13 kobo rather, on capital projects in 5 months. After years of delay, National Assembly passes PIB. We saw that on other newspapers as well. FG vows to prosecute IPOP collaborators. Others there. Kogi gets Youth Development Commission. DSS raids Igboho's house, declares him wanted. Dakuku inaugurates Blue Economy Private Sector Group. On Nigerian Tribune, DSS raids Igboho's home, kills 2, arrests 13, declares him wanted. Quite a number of riders. Gun duel in his house lasted for 1 hour, DSS explains. 7 AK-47 rifles, 3 pump-action guns, 30 fully charged AK-47 magazines, 5,000 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition retrieved from his house. Paraded as exhibits in Abuja. How my house was invaded, Igboho. Afenifere Gani Adams, Ilana Odua reacts to his home invasion. Police warn Igboho others over Yoruba Nation rally in Lagos. You get details on the Tribune newspaper today. 8 students killed, 962 others, 8 teachers kidnapped in 7 months. Nance is saying that page 8 has details. Makinde appoints Emir of Katagum, Lautech's 5th Chancellor. Details are on page 31 of that newspaper. And above the masthead, military arrest ISWAP terrorist in Ogun, and some other stories that we have on other newspapers. That is it today on the newspaper's front page review on New Trends Africa. Kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you for joining us.
New Trends Africa. Everything trending.